Remember saving up for months to buy my first pair of Jordans. Not because I thought they made me jump higher. Nah, I knew better than that. But because wearing them made me feel connected to greatness. Yeah, greatness. That's the weird power Jordan had that no other athlete before him possessed. Check the facts and historical documents, that is. Many of you have your own Jordan story. Maybe it was practicing his fadeaway in your driveway. Maybe it was crying when he retired. By the end of this video, you will understand why this one player's impact still matters, even if you never watched a full Bulls game in your life. You're welcome. You're welcome. The cut that changed basketball forever. Picture this. A skinny sophomore named Michael Jeffrey Jordan walks into the gym, bulletin board, scans the varsity roster and doesn't see his name. What do you do? How does this kid become the greatest ever? Question mark. The real story of Jordan getting cut isn't exactly what most people think. Nah, he wasn't actually cut. He just didn't make varsity as a sophomore. At 5'10", young MJ simply wasn't considered ready for the varsity squad at Langley High School. But sometimes, it's not the truth that matters. It's how you perceive it. Yeah, it's how you perceive it. That roster moment lit a fire inside Jordan that transformed him from a talented teenager into someone who possessed with almost scary determination. His high school coach, Pop Herring, later said something that gives you chills. I got chills. I know you got chills. If I got them. Jordan worked harder than anyone he had ever seen. This defining moment of rejection became the foundation upon which Jordan built his legendary career, brick by brick, practice by practice. Seriously, the teenage Jordan established a routine that would make most adults, and that's grown men, grown women, grown people, everybody, most adults quit after day one. I said it. Make you quit after day one. He dragged himself out of bed at 6 a.m. to practice before school, continue with team practice after school, then go home and practice some more on his own accord, while other kids were hanging out or playing video games. Jordan was obsessed with perfecting his handles, his shot, and his footwork. Nature gave him a helping hand too. Between his sophomore and junior years, Jordan experienced a crucial and critical growth spurt. 4 inches in one summer. Side note, I grew about 5 inches in one summer, but you ain't here for that. You ain't here for that. Shooting up from 5'10" to over 6'2", by his senior year, he had reached 6'6". But, what's remarkable is that Jordan's championship mentality was fully formed before his body caught up to that growth spurt. When his physical tools finally matched his mental intensity, something magical happened. By senior year, Jordan had blossomed into a McDonald's All-American, averaging an impressive 26.8 points per game. I gotta dance on that one. It feel good. You should be dancing too right about now. He had become dominant on the court. Despite these impressive numbers, he wasn't initially a hot commodity on the recruitment trail. No. Top college programs weren't battling to land him. Even more surprising, North Carolina, where he would eventually become a star, wasn't even his first choice. The player who would become synonymous with Tar Heel Blue initially had other plans. Different plans. The thing about Jordan is that every slight, every doubt got stored away in his mental vault. That chip on his shoulder never disappeared. Not after championships, MVP awards, or becoming a global icon. During his famous Hall of Fame speech in 2009, decades after his high school days, Jordan actually brought up the coach who cut him. That's how deep this stuff went. Jordan transformed that early rejection into the most fearsome competitive drive basketball has ever seen. He didn't just compete, he dominated. He turned every perceived slight into fuel for his basketball greatness, and I took that personally, a lifestyle long before it became a meme. Yeah. Changing the game from the ground up. Jordan's competitive fire was just the beginning. When he entered the league in 1984, basketball still lived primarily below the rim. Then suddenly, this rookie arrives who seemingly had rockets in his shoes, and the NBA would never, ever be the same. What happens when one player breaks the entire system? Seriously, look, before Jordan came along, basketball had pretty clear job descriptions. You had your big men, centers, and power forwards who controlled the paint and grabbed rebounds. Then you had your guards who set up plays and maybe, just maybe, hit some outside shots. We talking about the 80s now. That was the formula. But Jordan, he straight up invented a new position. He was a scoring machine who attacked from everywhere on the court. The way Jordan moved transformed basketball, and it got me doing my happy dance. His first step was like a bolt of lightning, dancing past a stationary storm, leaving elite NBA defenders completely lost. One moment they're in position, the next Jordan is floating through the air on his way to another highlight. Give me those highlights. That hang time defied physics. For my science peeps out there, shout out to you. In a way that generally confused people, like the anti-science people. Fans actually believe Nike had secretly built air bladders or springs into his shoes because normal humans couldn't stay airborne that long. Jordan would jump, the defender would jump to block him, come back down to earth, and somehow Jordan was still going up there, adjusting shot mid-air like he controlled gravity itself. Do your thing. The Chicago Bulls recognized what they had. Instead of forcing Jordan into some traditional system, they built their entire offense around him and with one simple concept. Get the ball to Michael and get out of the way, basically in crunch time. It worked because Jordan combined athleticism with skill, creativity, and basketball intelligence. Yeah, that IQ. Phenomenal. His dominance forced opposing teams to create entirely new defensive strategies. The Detroit Pistons developed what they call the Jordan rules, an entire system designed specifically to stop one player. Coach Chuck Daly's strategy involved aggressive double teaming, hard fouls, and relentless physical play aimed at wearing Jordan down. An entire professional team crafting a defensive scheme for a single player demonstrated his unprecedented impact. I mean, really, even the NBA itself adapted to Jordan. The league changed its hand-checking rules partly because of him. Before these changes, defenders could use their hands to impede offensive players' movements. But Jordan's combination of speed, agility, and scoring ability made him practically unstoppable under existing rules. Yeah, so what made Jordan truly revolutionary was how he combined athletic gifts with unmatched skill and basketball IQ. He outthought opponents while outjumping them. He wasn't just faster, he was more precise. Everything he did seemed calculated, yet spontaneously planned and yet creative, all rolled in one. It was like basketball was an art. He's the savant. Hopefully I used that word right. If not, let me know. But the game before and after 1984 might as well be two completely different sports. Jordan's style, the high-flying acrobatics, clutch shooting, lockdown defense became the template for generations of players who followed. Kobe Bryant, Dwayne Wade, and countless others tried to replicate what Jordan did, but none managed the complete package he represented.